All right. One sec. There we go. Nice. So I just wanted to make a video just before I head to bed, actually. And here, I'll show you more of that later. But I just wanted to do a quick video before I head to bed tonight because there are some really synchronistic things that happened to me today during my experience, and it was Canada Day, so woo, Canada Day. And Canada Day has always been historically I've had some good memories associated with Canada Day, some very significant events that occurred to me in and around Canada Day during the past. And this year, yeah, there was just a couple things that like happened, and this is me actually like when it happened, when there's like one moment when I was like, all right, this needs to be like documented. So that's basically what I'm doing. I'm documenting specific synchronistic events that occurred tonight while I was like out and about doing Canada Day stuff. So this is again like, you know, I've seen me doing video dream logs. This like a synchronicity log. Yeah, so that's basically what it is. But yeah, I mean, other than a couple things, like, I mean, I went down to watch fireworks, first of all, at the park down in the city, and that was, like, really fun and amazing. And I just went down there by myself. And I guess one thing I did just want to mention real quick, because it's part of the synchronicity, but the most recent aspect of synchronicity that just happened was I had a video in front of me on my YouTube, like potential videos in like a different window over here, and I just like randomly ran a search on like Skull Babylon. I did this yesterday, and the window is still open, and it's currently on page 18. But there's one video that was already like standing out in front of me, and it was by my buddy Dex, and he was doing videos way back in the day, and his video um, titled "I'm Not My Own Worst Enemy" was actually all about just the idea of us going out and making a fun and enjoyable experience for ourselves. Like oftentimes, like people think they need to like sort of plan something really strategically, or like meet up with their friends and so to speak. But then you can just also go down someplace by yourself, and stuff will still happen and unfold in the way they would unfold. But it's even more of an adventure if you have a skateboard with big wheels or like rollerblades or something. That just makes it even more fun to like zoom around and let synchronicity occur. So the big things that happened with me synchronicity wise, because I enjoyed myself watching the fireworks, that was fun. I ran into a friend. Yeah, like I guess this counts as synchronicity. There was like this huge park playground thing. This is another thing that's like it helps. This is like a memory recall thing, similar to my dream recall, but now I'm just like recording this dream, so you know what I mean. So anyways, I showed up at the park where this whole like event was taking place, and that's where the fireworks would be going off. And I was walking around, and there was like a teepee thing set up. They just like had like a teepee. There was some stuff happening there earlier in the day, I imagine. But anyways, I saw that, and then I like went halfway across like the park, and then I was trying to communicate with my friend, and they were coming in from a certain angle. And then I was like, all right, where are you? And they're like, oh, I'm at the teepee. So I'm like, the teepee, back to the teepee. But when I first saw the teepee, I knew that that was just like a really good landmark. So I was just like us mentally syncing up on the idea of meeting up at the teepee, which I still think counts as synchronicity if you're talking about synchronicity in terms of like two people's thoughts synchronizing. Because I mean, synchronicity would be, as an example, you know, you thinking about someone and then they call you like within the next second, or you know, really soon. Two people syncing up like that, two people syncing up over the idea of meeting up at a teepee as a good location. And the person who I was meeting up with, like they were like paradigm shifty as well. They've been to like some of the meetings in the past, so it was good to hang out with them. And then when we were like wandering around, we just like want after the fireworks, and the fireworks were cool because the fireworks was actually like a really good chance for me to meditate and just like really reflect on just like gratitude and just like this and that, and just be able to like see the fireworks exploding there for Canada Day as like a representation of the celebration like within inside myself, for like gratitude to be alive. Like those fireworks within that moment, like I was those fireworks, like, and it's like galaxies like exploding. So that was like just a thing that like I mentally sort of projected onto that moment, onto that event, to really bring in. You know, you don't see fireworks very often. Last time I saw them was last time there in that park literally in 2012, and it was like a similar scenario. I was just watching it by myself. This time I was there with a friend, but who we met at the teepee with. And then after that amazing event, which was just like me making the most of that experience, we went to this tent, and the tent had different jewelry and everything. And then I was like drawn to some jewelry. They had like the Star of David, sacred geometry, like Om symbol, yin yang, like Buddha sort of Vishnu statues on chains and stuff made of sterling silver. So I was like, oh sweet, you know, like we like walked way across. I had seen it earlier, but I wasn't totally sure if I was going to go by there, but I didn't know it had like all the cool stuff as well. So what I ended up getting was this bad boy here, an Ankh. And this is like a big deal, I guess, because it's like my first one. I mean, I know a lot of people have sort of had this as a necklace, but this is the first one that I've picked up for myself. And it is made of like sterling silver or silver. And yeah, it's just something that I was like, all right, you know, like time and a place. Like today's July 1st. It literally is the middle of the year, so the middle of like 2013. Just sort of getting it as like something I can just like symbolically sort of like work with, like the memory of like my knowledge of what the Ankh is, which is like even this idea of just like the energy around us, and it represents like immortality to a degree. But I'm still learning it. But the big kicker out of all the synchronicity stuff that I just wanted to mention, though there were a few other couple things, I'll tell this in a second. So anyways, I was on the bus eventually. Before I got to the bus, I handed out some paradigm shift buttons, stuff like this. This one's a magnet, but that's like a sick example of one. And I'm going to be making more of these in the next few days because my buddy's dropping off his button making machine. So if you do want buttons, just message me through Facebook. If that's something you're interested in, it would come out to like $1 button. So what? Okay, so the synchronicity that happened. I got on the bus and I pulled out this book to read. Many of you are quite familiar with this book. You've probably read it yourself. Sacred Geometry. So I opened it up to a page, as I often do when I like have a book in front of me that I'm about to read. And the first thing I read, and it was just a random page. The first thing I read, it was highlighted first of all because this was my buddy's book that I've been borrowing for a while, and it says there is an electromagnetic energy field surrounding our bodies shaped like an Ankh. And I was just like, okie dokie, because I mean, not to say that they don't talk about the Ankh on other parts of the page, but and again, you know, it's like pictures of like Thoth and like other stuff, and you know, you guys have probably read this book and everything. So I mean, not even to like get too much into Thoth and stuff, but I think it was just like really interesting, the idea that I just picked up an Ankh. And then I opened up a book, and the first sentence I read was specifically referring to the Ankh. So that's my big synchronicity of that day. Other little things that was kind of cool was just I spent a little time downtown right at the core of the city afterwards, and I had other buttons that I was like giving out. Gave one out to a few people, and like I gave one out to like a girl on the bus, just because like she was like across from the other side. I mean, she was with her boyfriend and everything, don't get me wrong, but she just like it was this is just like part of the story. It was really weird. It was just like an observation of like humans being humans, I guess. But we were like waiting on a bus, and it was the last bus leaving downtown, and it was all like the windows were all closed, and we were waiting and waiting. There was a lot of people, and it was getting hot, and then like no one like thought to like open up the window, so I was like, okay, whatever, like, you know, I just needed to like open up the windows. And then just like her observing that, and I busted out the Flower Life when I first read that, and I was like kind of showing her the cover of it, which is like a thing that you can do if you're just like trying to plant seeds. And then afterwards, as I was like getting off the bus, because a whole bunch of people came on, I just like passed like one of these like buttons to her that I had picked out that I figured she would appreciate, which is the whole purpose of the buttons, because they have the website on the side. So paradigmshiftcentral.com plus Paradigm Shift Radio on the other side, flipped upside down. So that's Paradigm Shift Radio there. So these things, you use these to like hack the matrix. That's what these bad boys do. So you plant that seed, literally, just like those you give it to. But if you also drop off like a pamphlet thing, then it again, going back to synchronicity, you're creating synchronicity. You being in that moment where you have a chance to give one of these to someone, manifests like a new reality for them, one that can be very real if they choose to get engaged like with the community and just like come out to the physical meetings, because that's really when it actually like takes that next step towards being able to go around and just like embrace the synchronicities of every day, which is pretty neat. So anyways, that's my story that I like drew out. But those of you who check out my videos, I figure you guys would appreciate that story in some sense or another. Just trying to think if there's any other stuff I need to tell you. I could, but here, check this out again. Okay, let me hold on. It's kind of tricky. One sec. There we go. Yeah, because there's different colors on the light. Oh yeah, and I saw some guys. Yeah, another synchronistic thing. There were like these like younger kids playing like acoustic and drum stuff on the corner, and it was really cool. And they were talking about like old-fashioned heartbreak, and then I like had a pin for them that was similar to what this looks like. It was a heart chakra, green color, and I gave that to them like as like instead of like giving them like a toonie or a loony. Toonies are what we have here in the land of Oz, aka Canada. Um, so yeah, and then they were just like, "What is this?" And I'm just like, "Oh, it's a symbol for the heart." Yeah, and then they're just like, "Cool, man." So that's the other synchronistic part. I mean, obviously, there, again, like a dream. This is a recollection. It's a very important thing. Whether you're making videos, like maybe I'll do more of these. I don't know. Um, or just like writing stuff down, whether it be writing down your dreams or writing down just like memories of the day, going back at the end of the day and doing recollection of like anything that happens, like literally as you sort of before you go to sleep, meditate and go backwards through your day and think back on everything that happened and sort of do that as a process of defragging your mind and then sort of like taking out a bit of the clutter before you go to sleep. And then with a little less clutter, you're more likely to have like stuff that potentially could be like more symbolic and engaging and different to make their ways into your dreams. So that's a practical tip. So you can try using that. And other than that, I'm just gonna end this video. But yeah, I figured you guys would get a kick out of that. So I'm wearing a whole bunch of stuff. Like this is like my other symbol that I've had forever, and it looks kind of like a 9-6, which is why I bought it, because that's like my number. And you guys already know that. And then this and this, and the green emerald wizard thing. Actually, I'm not entirely sure what stone it is, but given to me at the Journey to Lucidity movie, which you can watch. Facebook.com/Journey to Lucidity. It's in there for a couple seconds. So, anyways, guys, all right. There's probably a whole bunch of other stuff I could show you in my room, but maybe another time. So stay tuned for that potentially, or just other stories that I have of synchronicities, or potentially video dream logs, or just Paradigm Shift community admin meetings, or any of all that stuff that we do here for fun. So, woohoo! All right, guys. Talk to you later. Happy Canada Day, everybody. Bye. Peace.